Cool. No.
Deuces.
Salon.
No.
Okay, I can hear you, but I can't see you. Okay, there we go.
You can't.
Now I see you.
know?
Now I see you. Yep.
Oh.
So does this automatically switch back and forth based on whoever's talking?
I think so. Well, no, I just see. I mean, I've done one of those where there's multiple people, like more than two, and then it'll switch. But I guess it doesn't have to switch.
I thought that the person hosting switches it, but that's good. I like this. This makes it much easier. I have to do.
But is it? Oh, but do you see? You just see me though.
Join. So this is a good test for both of us. And then I think if I hit like stop broadcasting, it won't be live. So technically right now we're live, but it's just you. So I guess if we invited people, maybe we should share it in the Caribbean Bloggers group and see if anybody joins.
Yeah, hold on. Let me turn on my other light. A little better. Ta-da.
Do you still have your Amazon shop you're trying to do? I think you need to buy there.
Huh? Yeah. Wait, what's the question?
Amazon, I don't know, you had something so you can buy like from your shop. So
Yeah. So do you need you need what do you need to?
Oh, you don't have it yet.
I have things in the store, but when you
I need to buy a battery.
I mean, whatever. For something specific.
That was just like a code. I didn't know, like.
No. I'll give you the link to what you want, so I can just add it to the store. Because I have things in there like tech equipment, but it's like specific. Like I want a certain memory card. I can keep my store. I've been waiting for this video to load for like an hour, and it's like a minute long. Yeah, about that.
Okay. So I guess maybe we'll get some people hopping in. But that's all right if we don't.
Oh.
They can see the replay. All right. So, well, actually, this was AV's idea because I can't take full credit for it. So on my blog, I have a Caribbean blogger spotlight, which I haven't done in a while, but I've featured a lot of other Caribbean bloggers that are doing great things, and I wanted to revamp and bring it back. And AV was like, "Can we do this on video? Because doing it by email, I have a lot more to say." So I was just like, "Let's try a hangout," and she was like, "Okay." So hopefully this will go well, and I'll also have the video. But thank you so much for allowing me in your living room.
The trap house.
The trap house. So I see you have your
Yes, my carnival headpiece.
So okay, so first off, tell us a little bit about you and how you started blogging.
Okay, my name is AV Perkins. I started blogging about 3 years ago. This is year 3 going, I guess, to 4. I don't know. I'm working on math. But about 3 years ago, I started blogging. And it was a way to pass the time, and it was a way to channel other energies that I had going on. My father passed away, and to keep sanity for sure. And also I started taking it more seriously in terms of a DIY blog, because he taught me everything I know how to work with my hands. My background is in film and television, props and set design, and I worked doing that for about 6 or 7 years. And I was like, I'm gonna just write and just do things and make things, and I just decided to blog about it. And I also include other memory in life within my blog on AV does what, because AV does a lot apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So in that, especially with,
so that's how I got into,
especially with incorporating a lot of what you do, because a lot of what you're doing now recently has grown more into a lifestyle site, and even with you contributing to other sites, how has even in the time that you've been blogging, how has the landscape changed for you, and how have you grown from the beginning to now?
Okay, well, initially I was Strictly, and that can be very exhausting, doing just solely DIY. And not if you're including recipes, you're just doing hands-on home decor. Shout outs to those guys, because it's a lot, and I like to touch on a lot of topics, and there are a lot of things that are important to me. Caribbean clean, that's how we met. It's something that's very important to me. So I wanted to tie in everything that is important to me in this blog. So every day I get ideas, and I'm like, okay, how does this make sense? Because I have to make it make sense. Because if it doesn't make sense, I can't put it in the blog. So I try to cheat and find different ways to add in my likes and wants into the blog. But things that I've realized since I've started, you should be authentic in your life, period, but you'll be surprised what people are receptive to, because if you go what people tell you you're supposed to do, in terms of, let's say, for instance, in the DIY space, Martha Stewart is the upper echelon of all things DIY. That's the standard,
Mm-hmm.
for all colors, genders, and creeds. That's Martha Stewart is kind of it. I love Martha, but Martha's not me, and I'm not her, and it's not there's a disconnect. So I have a particular hashtag called hip hop homemaking, and it started because one day I was eating waffles, and I was cutting my waffles, and the waffles looked like the Wu-Tang symbol. Instagram, like Woo Waffles, just being funny, and people were like, "Yo, this is so dope!" And I'm like, really? And I'm like, I've always hip hop anyway. I've always been like a huge fan, especially of '90s hip hop anyway. So when I would say things just randomly on my Instagram about '90s hip hop, people would respond to it more. But I'm like, I like both, so put like Voltron, you know. So that as a lot has changed since I've started. Even with myself, things have changed.
When it's so closely tied to you, and you as a person, you evolve, so your blog is gonna evolve in the same manner. So I know you mentioned how we met, and we're both Caribbean bloggers. Tell me about your Caribbean background and how you infuse that into your blog.
All right, this is a good part there. I am
Nothing digging, nothing digging, no, nothing digging, no.
Dig in on the teen. All right. So, yes, I was born in the Bronx, but my father is from St. Thomas, Jamaica. Big up, big. My mother, Kingston, Jamaica. Big up on yourself. So I am first generation born in America. So, yeah. But I am very, extremely closely connected to my Caribbean background, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of us. So I think specifically most of the readers that I have from my blog, they're either first generation Caribbean Americans, or they are from the Caribbean. And I think now it has evolved in a sense where I think when you and I were growing up, it was kind of a sense of, well, you're not Caribbean enough, but you're not quite American enough either. So you kind of fall in between these best of both worlds. And, you know, you really really have fused into one. And I think now it's becoming a little bit more acceptable. The idea of Caribbean American in its title is becoming the norm, because you have Latino American, and you have Asian American, and you have Indian American. So like all of those subcultures within, there's a lot of first generation, even second generation, who still feel the influence of where they came from.
Yes.
About that, like how you grew up. And I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of us grew up the same way, but what did being Caribbean or Jamaican American mean for you growing up?
Oh, wow. It meant limbo. Limbo, like you mentioned before, about being in the best of both worlds. In some cases, purgatory. Because it's like, and even now, it's funny. I was not classified as Jamaican until I went to school.
Mm-hmm.
So my family, like my mom would say Jamaican because she's nice, but my grandmother would say, you guys are American because of the
yeah,
Yankee,
yeah, Yankee.
So like, you're not Jamaican, like you were born here and the map says this. Like she looked at me like I'm crazy. And like I said, it wasn't until I went to school, like not like college, like elementary, middle school, high school kind of thing. And then my parents roll up, like Bob and Rita Marley, and they're like, you're not American, you're Jamaican. So I kind of like embraced it, but it was crazy. I remember I spoke about this on my blog before, on my Periscope, I believe. I brought jerk chicken to school once. Not to school, but it was like a potluck with my friends. We were like teenagers, and we're gonna do a potluck, and I brought jerk chicken. And I'm the kindness of, this is the best, I'm giving you my best offerings. And my friends at the time they thought my chicken was burned and they teased me. Like, this chicken is burned. I mean, you're gonna eat this. And I lived in Connecticut at the time. And yeah, that's what happened, right? So I'm horrified. I'm like, this is delicious. And y'all are talking about my chicken is burned. Now, this is like 01, 02. So, no matter of fact, it's more like 2000, 2001. Within the year or so later, that's when Sean Paul really made a splash, you know? Mm-hmm. So now, everyone backtracks. I want jerk chicken, I want oxtail, I want Sean Paul, right? So that is kind of the interesting thing about being Caribbean American, because it's kind of like I don't speak Patois every day, especially when I was growing up, but you aren't American enough, or particularly African American enough, or Southern Black, or something like that in the South. Grits is still foreign to me. Like, I just want to make grits. And I had it 5 years, you know. People always look at me like I'm crazy when I say that, but it's like, who's making the grits? I wasn't making grits. So, growing up Caribbean American is purgatory.
I mean, I think it's interesting as well as challenging. Your experience is very much similar to mine. You know, both my parents.
You're breaking up.
Okay.
I can kind of hear you now.
Okay, let me see. Was it echoing?
No, it wasn't echoing, but it was just breaking up a little bit.
My parents came here. My mom didn't want to come. My dad was actually on a scholarship at University of Bridgeport, and that's how they came here. I actually joke I could have been Polish because he also got a scholarship to go to a school in Poland. So I could have had a very different life. But it was just interesting just to side of Steel Pulse and Dennis Brown and Bob Marley, and because that's all I grew up hearing, like 90s, 80s dancehall, like tapes and stuff like that. Like, and we couldn't touch the radio. My mom was like, "It's my car." Now you look back and you're like, I get it, and you know, you don't have to. It's almost a badge of honor more so than it's kind of like you wanted to crawl in your own little corner because you didn't quite always fit in, but I didn't mind too much growing up. So back to you and more about your blogging. So tell me like about some of your favorite pieces, and are any of them like Caribbean inspired? Like your DIY pieces?
My favorite pieces that are Caribbean inspired are more so about my upbringing. I have a piece called My First Struggle Plate. Struggle plates, for those who don't know, it's kind of a term based in Twitter talk, but certainly social media, where people take pictures of plates of food and it looks horrible. It looks like it doesn't taste good at all. I mean, it could taste good, who knows, but no one wants to try it because it looks horrible. So I did a piece about the first one I ever made. And because if you're a DIYer, you should be able to admit when you fail, because you don't get it right all the time. Granted, I was like 5, and I decided to make my mom food. Like, I wanted to make her like lunch or something, and it was horrible. And I destroyed like the kitchen. Like, I waited till she fell asleep. I wanted to be romantic and surprise her, right? Because this is my 5 to 7-year-old self thinking this. So I'm like, yeah, she fell asleep. Like, I pretended, it was like a whole mission. It was almost like Valentine's Day, I guess. Like, I was doing like a Valentine's Day for my mom in my head. And I pretended to go to sleep. So then she went to sleep, and then I woke up, And this was, I know I was young because it was like daytime naps, right? And I went in the kitchen and I got like a bowl and I put a slice of cheese in the bowl and egg and ketchup, raw egg, ketchup, milk. Like, I can't touch the stove, I'm too young. But these are the things I thought would be nice for my mom. And I was like, you know, I want to look good. So I put on my Easter Sunday dress. Easter had not passed yet, so this is a new dress. And in the mix of all of this, in this concoction, this egg concoction, and someone the door, I startled over the bowl in my startledness. There's eggs all over the floor. I'm slipping and sliding. There's chocolate eggs all over my new Easter dress. And I go and answer the door on top of it. On the other end is my uncle. My uncle comes in and he's like, what are you doing? What's going on? Da, da, da. He gets my mom. And it wasn't really a good moment after that. I felt very unappreciated. Because I got in trouble
for wasting the eggs and messing up your dress.
And opening the door.
Yes.
So it was the trifecta.
You have to be opening the door.
Wasting the food, messing up my new dress, messing up the floor, answering the door. Like, it's just levels. It was levels. And that's definitely one of my favorite, one of my family-oriented pieces are my favorite ones. But Caribbean ones at publications, I did the top 10 greatest dancehall rhythms of all time. And of all time, I really mean like 2003 to 2006. That one did pretty well. And I did I guess a think piece or open letter to the choreographer of Justin Bieber's music video, Sorry, saying that she created Poly Swag, which was really dance hall. And no, ma'am. Like, I really still do like the song, but you did not create dancehall. You are 23 years old. You created nothing. You cannot create anything at 23 years old. Unless you created Facebook, that's it for inventing anything. But neither here or there. So I did 9 videos. Yeah, I did 9 dancehall videos that really created Poly Swag. So my Caribbean ones do pretty good. Uno hold me down. Yes, bless up on yourself.
Yes, we have to hold it down when y'all write the things then. But I mean, those are a lot of the pieces that really, resonate with a lot of people here. Why do you think that is?
Wait, repeat the question?
I was saying that the pieces that really resonate with a lot of Caribbean Americans, like, why do you think, and even Caribbeans, why?
I can't hear the whole question, but I'm going to go off for what I did hear. Okay. I heard you say, why does it resonate with people? That's what you said? Okay. I think it's because we're a minority within a minority. And for those of us who aren't actively speaking in our languages, accents, dialects, or whatever, we kind of just blend in who's here, which is still a minority, which is kind of, it's like levels to that as well. So when you are able to spot out someone who may have listened to the same music as you, may have eaten the same food as you, it becomes extra special. So yes, it's great to see people of color. If you're in a C, especially the workplace, like corporate, you're usually just the only other person of color there. But if that person of color is from your similar region, it's just like, oh, you get it all the way. So it's more connection. It's and that's awesome, And I think these things also can resonate with folks who aren't Caribbean, whether they're Black or otherwise. because it's an opportunity to learn about other cultures, especially
very
because
true.
we're so lively and colorful.
I totally agree. So in terms of, so you also do a lot of traveling. I know you are in the Nomadness tribe and you recently have become an ambassador for them.
Yes,
Tell me
Nomadness tribe.
Huh? It paused.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here.
Hear me? I didn't hear what you said.
No, I can hear you.
Oh. Your travel adventures. I think one of the first videos that I saw of you was when you went to Trinidad Carnival a little while. That wasn't last year. Was it the year before?
No, it was last year, 2015.
Last year?
Yep.
A lot more travel in the blog in the future. So tell me kind of what's your affinity for travel and how you want to incorporate that a little bit more into the blog.
I love to travel. When I was younger, I didn't get to travel as I would like, or my parents would have liked. I have a lot of siblings, so just fiscally it wasn't doable. But my parents always had a sense of wanderlust. Like my father, he would watch Traffic and Discovery Channel every day, all day. So a lot of the places that I end up going, or places that are on my bucket list, I learned about them when I was little, when I was watching those shows with him, wanting to go to Africa. And because I saw safaris on television and things like that, and my mother spoke about us having our passports and pushing that. So even though they weren't necessarily able to provide that, they provided the thought. So now, as an adult, I want to take that spark and make it into a full flame. So that's what more so, go, get out there, do what you got. I encourage other people around me to do the same. And sparks are cool. Ignite, we are in a position, and many of us who are born here, we're in a position that our parents may not be. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it isn't much. Having passports from other countries may not be able to allow you to travel as much as having a U.S. passport. So I definitely try to incorporate those things into my blog because I like to do them. I love Rachel from Caribbean Rhythms. Like that's like my career goals. Like I want to be Rachel.
One of my dream jobs a long time ago.
Yeah. Like I just want to be Rachel. And I remember growing up watching her, and that's why she's another reason why I believe it's so like representation of all members of the diaspora is important. Because I knew on the weekends, this is what my family sounds like. My family sounds like Rachel, and I wasn't seeing that anywhere else besides Rachel, and it's tough because just with all of us of color to get any type of representation is difficult, much less regional areas of the diaspora. But I'm glad we have things like blogs. I'm glad we have things like this show to be able to show the next generation and little youth them that, okay, I can do this. I can grow up in BAV, I grew up and have my own show. So that's kind of where.
Speaking of called In the Trap House with AV.
Yes.
So you've had So I'm going back and forth to our so AV and I are also part of a Caribbean bloggers network group on Facebook. So I posted the link in the Facebook group, and now they're asking if they can ask questions. So we do have a few viewers. I'm assuming it's from there. Hi. Thank you guys so much for the support. But go ahead and ask. If you guys have questions, ask them. But I think you whole Google Hangout thing. So do whatever you feel you can do. You can probably enter the chat in the chat box, I think.
Oh, you should send me the link. Maybe I can post it online.
I'm going. Oh wait, I could put the link in the chat. There it is. You got it?
No.
No?
I think
I'll email it to you.
well, I see the link in the blog group.
Yes. It's in it.
Okay. So, huh?
We over here multitasking.
I know.
To see your latest rendition. That No Time video was hilarious.
Yes. Because I do, like I mentioned before, I do have an affinity for hip hop, and I love music. I wish I was able to rap, but I cannot. So I just pretend I can, in different ways, and trying to make it make sense with my whole DIY hip hop homemaking lifestyle. I have a video now that I'm uploading actually. And it's a reggae remix. A lot of my ideas come from my Facebook posts. Like my most engaging ones, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna turn this into a post or a video. It's something that I can create and it can live longer. And you know, we all know Formation, Beyonce's Formation came out a couple days ago. And I just woke up this morning and I said, you know, this would be dope if it was like a reggae remix, because everything is dope with a reggae remix. And I wrote a couple of words and people were like, yo, this is hot. And I did a music video today. So I'm waiting for it to upload. It's like at 24%. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's crazy.
Upload videos to YouTube like a couple ever.
Yeah, it can. It can. It sure can. What?
Tell me about your show.
Oh, okay. My show is called The Trap House with AV. And like I mentioned, I am AV. And my house has been dubbed the Trap House. It's a funny story why a friend of mine, he lives in the South. He always assumed because I live in the North, like Northern people have money, which is not the case. I have a Airbnb in my home. And he's like, you have money, but you're not like even home. Like you're like a trap queen. Like that's what you call me. And then it's like, what? I don't even sell drugs. What are you talking about? Like, yo, it's the trap house. And he kept calling it that. And then one day I was just saying it and it stuck to other people. And I've hosted parties here and a game night here, and everyone is just kind of like, oh, I'm going to the trap house. I'm going to the trap house. I'm going, you know, 80s house, the trap house. And really like stuck to it more or less. So after the game night that I had here for my Nomadness crew, I decided after doing like a Periscope challenge, like a scope a day, I'm like, I'm gonna start my own talk show. And what is it gonna be called? The Trap House with AV. And my show is show to do it yourself. And what I like about DIY, I don't want it to just limit it to cookies and crafts, because although those are really good, I love cookies and I love crafts, it's limiting. You can do everything yourself, like be self-sufficient. So I try to provide, whether it's just entertainment or edutainment, education and entertainment together, just something you can do yourself. So I've had guests come and I spotlight them on whatever creative endeavor that they are doing, whether they're bloggers, Spanish teachers. I've had a photojournalist, a rapper, even though, you know, I think I can rap, but an actual rapper, different people. And we're just talking about how they got started so people can learn that way. And they were also making crafts or cookies or some kind of recipe or just tips. One of my most successful episodes, it was a gentleman, he self-taught Spanish speaker, and he's Trinidadian, and he went down to the Dominican Republic and taught Spanish to expats. So like, that's hustling to me. I like the hustlers, the grinders, the trappers, you know, people who are in their trap. They're in their trap house. They are grinding and making a way for themselves. So that's kind of where we're evolving the word trap star, trap queen, trap king, trap house, all of those things. Like, we are trying to evolve those words to just the grind, the hustle of trying to make it and doing it yourself. So that's where, you know, that type of DIY comes together. So think the basement with Big Tigger, the Rhapsody, the basement with Big Tigger, and Martha Stewart Living. That is the Trap House with AV. Both of those shows put together.
That's awesome. So in terms of what you're building for yourself and for your blog, where do you see yourself in the next 6 months to a year? I mean, you know, blog years feel like, you know, forever, especially, you know, with so many blogs that are available. Where do you see yourself in the next 6 months to 12 months?
Okay, 6 to 12 months. Making more money. One. But of course, I'm sure that is something everybody wants and wants to see. Being more visible, I'm doing more videos now, especially since with the talk show. I'm also introducing more content to my YouTube channels, just so content that doesn't necessarily feature myself. I want people to come to avdoeswhat.com, the Trap House with AV.com, or my YouTube channel, and they can just stay there. So I'm providing your travel videos, I'm providing just your podcast, video podcast, entertainment, you know, your ratchetainment. I'm providing your DIY hands-on cookies and crafts. I am providing financial advice. I'm bringing on a financial literacy show sooner than later, and also bringing on some language shows sooner than later, but it still has that edutainment fun spin to it, because if it's not fun, it's not for me. I need you to entertain while you're here. I need to be entertained while I'm doing it. So that's what I want to bring, edutainment more so than anything else in the next 6 months. 6 months to a year. My first season of the Trap House with AV is ending. It's the first season ending tomorrow. So tomorrow's the season 1. I'm like, oh my gosh, my first season is done of the show tomorrow. So I'm like, that's like a milestone for me, a show that I just started impromptu. I was able to commit and stick to it. And now 2 new shows will be premiering in the next 3 months.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, I want to get a little bit more into the technical side of the YouTube creator. What was that experience like?
Hey, repeat the question.
You did the YouTube certification,
Yes.
correct?
Yes. The technical side of things, it can be daunting. It definitely can be daunting. And I mentioned earlier, I went to school for film and television, and it's still different. And the landscape has certainly changed with YouTube. Even though when I was in school, YouTube existed, but YouTube is not what it was then as it is now. And it's a great time to be able to create content because there's cameras that are so much more affordable, still expensive, but way more affordable than you could imagine. Before, your camera is like $2,000, but your $2,000 camera now is at least $700, $800. That's still no walk in the park. It's still, you gotta save for it, but it's not the $2,000 camera anymore. You know, MacBooks are more powerful than ever now. Still a nice chunk of change, but not trillions of dollars. So the technical side of it is that you just have to jump in. You have to jump in and do it because you will get the content creation and people who are creating content, you have to keep up with the times. And video is certain, we're all visual still. So even if you just want to write, I'm not sure anymore how that works. For people who just want to write, it's possible, but it's difficult. You know, like if you're not writing, if you're not just writing, you have an Instagram, which is still visual. You know, you have a Pinterest, still visual. We need to see, basically. Mm-hmm. But we need to go. You mean like equipment I use? I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you answered it. You answered it. No, I didn't. I'm sure I could find it and include it in the blog post once I put it there. Did you hear me?
No.
Can you hear me?
Now I hear you.
I think when I talk too fast, it doesn't. Tech specs in social. What are your favorite platforms? Or if you had, which one would your favorite platform be?
It's my favorite platform for a ton is Twitter. That's my largest following, but ironically, since Trinidad last year, I've fallen off of like the Twitter map and I'm using more Facebook more. I don't know because they say Facebook and old people. And I did turn 30, so maybe there is some kind of connection.
Caribbean people on the whole use Facebook more than they use Twitter.
I don't know. But yeah, that was one of my favorites. I do think since I become more involved in madness, I use Facebook. I should love Pinterest more than I do because it's like, I don't know, I compare my social media platforms to dating, and Pinterest is really the guy like Facebook is my high school sweetheart or my college sweetheart, bad boy. Instagram is like the eye candy, but not necessarily substance. But it just like he just looks like, oh my gosh, but he's intriguing. Like he's not bad like prison bad, but like he's a little rough around the edges. But you like him, you know. Facebook, like I said, he's held you down. Facebook has seen you sick. But Pinterest is that guy who knows how to cook. He know how to fix things. He know how to clean. He know how to watch kids. He's just all that. But you might overthink. You might think you are not good enough for Mr. Pinterest. But I am good enough for Mr. Pinterest.
That is a great analogy. Sometimes I feel the same way.
Yes.
It'll do all for whatever seconds I have the scroll attention. So, okay, so we're gonna do something like quick now. 90s hip hop or 90s dancehall?
Is this question here? Okay.
Yes.
Wait, I'm picking one or the other.
Yes.
Okay. So are we talking? We're really putting against Sim Simma and Big Papa. Is that what we're doing right now? Oh my god. I can't.
Yes.
I'm really thinking like Under the Sycamore Tree. You can't put more tree against One More Chance. Godly. I'm gonna go 90s hip hop though. I have to pick it. Oh god.
Traitor.
Go with 90s hip hop. I know. But I can't.
So curry goat or oxtail?
Okay, funny thing, right? I'm gonna pick goat, but growing up I didn't eat neither. I know. Rutgers scratch. I think I might have had oxtail like once. So I need to go and get some oxtail from somebody. And I didn't start eating goat until I started eating roti. And my grandmother was offended because like, how am I gonna eat Trini goat before Jamaican goat? Then I started eating goat. But yes, I'm gonna pick curry goat over oxtail.
I forgot. Okay, gungo peas or red peas?
Red peas. Not even a question.
Okay, so we're kind of coming to the end of our interview. What would you say? How would you describe your personal style?
My personal style is I'm laid back in terms of, I guess, fashion, or I don't like heels. I almost look like I'm going to be a break dancer. That's what I look like on most days. Like I have sneakers on, a sweater, maybe leggings, maybe jeans, and a hat. Like I really look like I'm gonna bust a move at any given point. Like I'm just gonna like pop rock for everybody. That's how I live the week.
So
or have door rockers on. Like I look like I'm in the 90s.
It's okay. You're vibing to right now. Who you musically speaking?
Music wise, who am I vibing to? I'm still stuck like in previous eras, but I'm always here for. She's just unapologetically Caribbean, and she had to bring it to the whole world. You see me? So I rate Rihanna bad. Probably, but I am still, yes, murdering cartel. Yes, keep soap cartel. I still love Vybz Kartel. I know it's so bad, but
you're with a lot of people. That I mean, he's still making songs and he's in prison, so you know he's still
like
remain relevant. Yeah,
I cannot betray Gaza for Gully. Never.
So
I like alkaline.
So hold on. Bleach face cartel or blacker than black cartel?
Both of them. Clorox Rhythm Cartel, Blackface Cartel, every cartel.
Prison cartel. All right, we get it. All right.
World boss.
Apparently still leading. So thank you so much for this interview. I really appreciate it. My first Google Hangout. And I hopefully the video turns out all right. And Una can't hear me and think because when I do this again, Finno, and Una have to just get with the program. Sorry. But thank you so much, AV. Shout out all of your socials so that they know where to follow you, your website, everything. Go.
All right. You can't find me on everything is AV Does What. Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest. Yes, Mr. Pinterest. Pinterest, Instagram, everything. Everything is AV Does What. AVDoeswhat. AV Does What. AVDoesWhat.com. Periscope, you can find me AV Does What. Also Snapchat, AV Does What. AV does a lot. And you can find all of those on all my social media channels.
All right. Thank you so much. Until next time, maybe I'll do this again if you guys like it. It's Miss Michaela signing off. Bye, AV. Thank you so much. And then I'll send you
No
all
problem.
the information once it's done.
All right. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Big up on yourself. The Caribbean
Yeah, no
Media
problem.
Massive Band. Bye.